we're sorry we had a little bit of issues with the broadcast today, but we are now live on YouTube. Kara, how you feeling after all that Thanksgiving turkey?
Turkey comatose, Ken. I made the mistake of I woke up early this morning and wanted a quick snack, and I decided, the old go-to turkey sandwich. It had me right back asleep within 30 minutes. But I'm feeling better now.
Turkey sandwich. I mean, they're so good. Awesome. Okay, we got some folks here. Hey, Sam. Yeah, sorry guys about the quick training issues, but we're live now. So today we're actually going to talk about goal setting for December specifically. So Kara, before we get started with goal setting for December, what I'm going to do is give a few quick Cupid updates. So if you guys are just tuning in for the very first time, I'm Ken. I'm the CEO of Cupid. Kara Bell is one of our professional matchmakers on Cupid. Kara was one of the very first people to get a client on Cupid, which is really exciting. I wanted to give you guys some updates on the network. So right now we've been online for 7 days. Not bad. So our first week birthday. We, as of today, have almost 200 matchmakers. I think the last time I checked the app, it was 197. We have also, we have about 75 singles. And we have a few clients as well. So we have paying customers and the app is moving nicely. What I wanted to call attention to is our invite. So part of the app, there's going to be a lot of changes coming up in the next week or so. Probably by about next Friday, you're going to see a lot of changes in the app. Things moved around to make it much more invite focused. So something I wanted to remind everyone is that we are giving away $3,000 this month. We're trying to spur interest and spur an update. So I want to let you guys know we really haven't had that many people invite to the actual Cupid app. So right now, if someone were to bring on 10 invites this weekend, the top person gets $1,500, the next one gets $1,000, and the third person gets $500. So just as a reminder, if you just joined Cupid or you're a brand new matchmaker, really consider this as a possible way for you to make some great holiday spending money. And if you don't know, guys, Kara and I are actually going to go out in public tonight, and we're going to go drum up some interest on the street. We're going to the pier in St. Pete, which happens to be a super high traffic area. And then I'm going to go to a holiday market tomorrow, again, with a little bit of Cupid swag on, and go advertise what we're doing. Because in the end, no matter if someone just joins as a single, or if they join as a client, or if they become a matchmaker, every single person helps the Cupid network grow and expand and help each other. So we're trying to get that singles network to the several thousands or the tens of thousands, because part of the bigger challenge is until we're in a really high capacity space, we have several thousand, 5,000, 10,000 people, we're going to have a challenge of really providing high quality matches. So Sam says something exciting. Yes, Sam, part of this is really getting out there, right? We just got to be active. We have to make a conscious choice. Some of us are going to post on social media. We are gonna party on. We're gonna go out there and get what's done. Someone's gonna build this network, right, Sam?
Right.
So, Kara, as we're approaching December, and we're starting to talk about goal setting for December, I think you previously talked about a vision board, which one day we have to get your vision board visible to all of us, for what you'll share, right? I don't know how personal it is. Is it a really personal vision board, Kara?
No, not at all. And maybe I'll share that on Monday with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, if you guys want to do vision boards as well, it gives you this weekend to kind of work on them, and we can show off our vision boards.
I love the idea of sharing theirs and sharing it on the Discord channel. I've actually never done a vision board, but I have, for me, Kara, I'm sure we'll talk about this in January, but I'm really big into New Year's resolutions. And last year, mine was all about real estate and growing my wealth and becoming more successful. And I did that. And then now, this year I'm going to have so many New Year's resolutions based around building Cupid. And I think it might surprise you, Kara. I know I've told you this a ton of times, but for you new matchmakers who are tuning in, one of the things is I kind of grade Cupid's success on how much money we are paying matchmakers, because we share revenue, right? You guys make 80% of the revenue, we make 20%. So the bigger the checks I'm writing to matchmakers every week, every month, the more success we're having. So people might think it's a different way, but really, if we're paying matchmakers a lot of money, Cupid is becoming successful. And more importantly, it's helping really change lives on the matchmaker side. So I think a lot of my goals will be based around that. But Kara, what do you think about December? How do we get this network? How do we grow this? How do we help you got a client that you have to like work with now. Like, what are your goals for your matchmaking practice for December?
My goals are to really focus on a few things. So first of all, just knowing the number that of clients that I need to make myself financially comfortable.
Yeah,
And I'm making these in kind of short, attainable goals. I
love
don't
it.
want to overload myself. So I'm kind of taking small steps or baby steps, if you will. My goal by the end of December is to have 50 clients, right? And
Kara.
and then what I would like to do is reasonably, if we're out here really talking to people and posting on social networks and having conversations, I don't think it's unrealistic to think that you could gain an extra 25, 30 people a month. And
I'm
that's not just going in, I mean, that's just doing kind of some passive social media posting, not going in hard like you and I hanging out at the pier. We're going
Mhm.
in hard with that. So I
Yeah,
expected like come out with, a lot of people. So I'm really just kind of focusing on my finances, what I need to make in order for Kara to be comfortable in
right.
2023. How realistic is it? And then how I can scale it at attainable bites, if you will.
Absolutely.
Right?
And still be able to service those clients, right, Kara? Like part of the
Right.
challenge is it's one thing for us to like recognize the amount of money we as matchmakers and like us as a matchmaking organization want to make. It's the other thing of making sure we're going to have the systems and the processes in place to take on a client, interview them, understand who they're looking for, and make sure our network can sustain them. Because Kara, you get 10 clients in a week, they're going to have varying interests. We
Right.
need to have that singles network growing fast enough to satisfy your prospective clients. Because the worry is, okay, you get on 10 clients, we better have a whole bunch of singles and vice versa. But the good news is, as you get 50 clients, as Sam gets 10 clients, as everyone starts building up these clients, we all kind of gear up to say, okay, let's start bringing on more singles. Let's make this a more active part of our process. And listen, guys, I was talking to Kara before we went live today. Cupid is actively building a few more tools. You'll see them next week. So by next Friday, there'll be all new training released, and there'll be all these new features for you. And
Love it.
so you'll see new things. I can give you like a taste of it. The idea is instead of when you send your unique link, we're going to actually deliver you to a website. And that website will be like a visual of you. It'll have your face, it'll have what is Cupid, it'll have all the things that you need in a QR code. So instead of like Kara and I, we literally printed some business cards that we're going to hand out. But by next week, all of your Cupid app will have your Cupid QR code. So no one actually has to print a business card. You can take a picture and send it to someone. Yeah, Sam's out here trying to get some customers too. Awesome, Sam. Sam, make sure you invite a whole bunch of people before the end of the month, because if this like payment thing of like sending $3,000 to Matchmaker doesn't work and get us like thousands of singles, we're not going to do it again in December. So this might be the only time we do it. So make sure you drive that attention before the end of the month so we can pay you. But anyhow, we just got a bunch of new tools and services. And that's what you can expect from a tech company, right? Every week or 2 weeks, it's going to change. We're going to update. We're going to listen to the problems. We're going to address the problems and then build solutions to them. But so Kara, 50 clients to me actually sounds pretty like that's a high bar. Like
Mm.
I want to know, like, how are you going to achieve that? Is this all based on your pre-existing clients you had in the past? Is this based on like are you doing events? Like, what are you thinking? How are you going to turn
Well,
your 50 clients?
what I'm thinking is this. I thought it was going to be like just a piece of cake to kind of move people over, right? What I found is I'm having to do a little more work. I'm best face to face with people.
Sure.
So, the event that we're doing on the pier, this is kind of like the tip of the iceberg for December. My plan is to go to once a month, actually once a week, to go to community events.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's just I'm going shopping at the farmer's market, I need to get out there. What I've realized is when I'm asking people to join Cupid, is that it's a larger conversation than what I thought it was going to be,
Mhm.
because I don't quite get it yet, right? And I like to be there in person to say, okay, this is how it works. A lot of people thought I was like, are you sending me some scam link? And I was like, come on, you guys, I would never do that. You know, I don't
Yeah,
do that.
but it's
But
brand
don't
new. That's going to
people
be a
think
real
that,
conversation. Yeah.
right? So until we are the other thing is recognition, just brand recognition. It's like
Mhm.
that McDonald's sign.
Yeah.
So even if I don't have anything cute to post as content, I'm still going to post the Cupid logo because I want to get it. I want people to see it. They're going
Sure.
to start to see it, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe that'll bring some buzz like, okay, I've seen this for 4 weeks. Why she keep posting this? And
Right.
then I'll start to do probably some live videos because once again, I got to I have to explain what it is to people. And
Right.
if I can do that in a one shot, just video, hey guys, this is single. If you want to be part of the database, yes, you do have to pay if you want your own personal matchmaker, but you can sign up for free.
Right.
What's stopping you? What's stopping
Match
you?
and date for free. Well, Kara, and like I'm like an in-person person too, right?
Mhm.
So my goal is for us to hit 1,000 singles by the end of this month. We have a week, right? And like
Okay.
that really shouldn't be that hard. There's 7 billion people, 8 billion people in this world. Like 1,000 people is not that many people. You know, it's free. There's nothing really stopping us. And hell, Kara, we might get really lucky and hit it tonight. You know, or by the end of the weekend because you and I like we're gonna do. We have several people going out, and then we have some more people going to a market on Saturday. So like we're doing it. We're out there getting people, and we're in one location. So people talk and they start texting, and it becomes like a little fire. It becomes like it spreads and it's
It
organic.
does.
But you know, part of the value of getting out there face to face with people and making it part of your goals, right? My goal is to get to one event a week, bite-sized pieces that I can totally achieve.
Right.
But what that does for you is that gives you practice runs. I mean, you're not going to get good at pitching your matchmaking business and explaining it to someone unless you do it a few times. And then you're going to watch their facial expressions. And when their eyes glaze over, or you're like, wow, I've been talking for 4 minutes. This is too long. But it teaches you, right, Kara? Like, you only get better by practice. It's not some magical formula of like, oh, Kara's born this way. No, it's literally Kara's done it 10,000 times. She knows the right words, trial by fire. So I think, like, by deciding to get out there, farmers market, this, that, and take risks and just say, here's my card, here's my link, would you try it out? Are you single? Whatever. That is the only way you're going to be successful in the long term. If you really want this to be your full-time income, if you want to be part-time income, it can be less. It can be less investment. But if you really want to replace your income, like you're a Bella Claire, right? You want to stop working at your job, you want to get out there and make your own money. It's going to take that kind of investment, I think.
Right. Yeah, you
Mhm.
will. And then so what happens is you put all this work in the forefront like anything else. And then you're going to be in a place and time where you literally will have to take, maybe say, "Hey, I can't take you on as a client right now. I have too many." Because once you've laid the foundation, other people will begin to do the work for you. It'll spread like wildfire.
Right?
And that's what we need to do is just really light that fire, let people know what what's
What is
prevented you?
Cupid? Right.
Free to be in the database. It is
Right.
free. So I think for you matchmakers to know there are two ways. We need singles, which is
Mhm.
completely free.
Mhm.
Free. Let me say again, free. And then for those that are looking to have a matchmaker, it's $99 a month or
Yeah.
105.
Yeah, 105. That's with the service fees, but it's basically the fee is 99 bucks. The total fee is 105.
So if you know that it's somebody that you're just meeting, why don't you approach them by just signing up as a free database member,
Right.
right? And
There's
then
no
maybe the
risk.
people that we do know, we can focus more so on having those conversations about being clients, and then we'll just it'll take off.
Sure. Well, it's also what I'll say, Kara, is like I want to understand. Let me make sure everyone understands how the singles actually work. You can not only join the database, you can actually get matched and go on dates 100% for free. We actually really focus on the singles experience. We actually call it like the hot girl experience because, like in conventional dating, right?
Mhm.
Attractive women do not have to fight for dates. That's not the situation, right? Like it's just not, and we know it's how it is. The same thing in gay world, same thing in every world, right? Like super hot folks aren't usually going to pay for something. That's not how it works. But we knew that we need to provide someone who's an eligible, attractive bachelor or bachelorette no barriers, no expense. So don't think that just because they join the database, they can't be matched. Who do you think you're matching? You're searching for that database, you find someone, you match them with your client, they go on a date. All of that is free to them. They never have to pay a single dollar. But the good news is, even though that person on the other side, that match for your client, is not paying, they still rate and review your client. Your client never sees those ratings or reviews. They come back to you as a matchmaker. So you get to learn a little bit about what that match would have liked and reach out to them and say, hey, you liked the date with my client. Okay, it didn't work out, but the experience was good. Are you interested in working with a matchmaker? I now have a little bit of data with you. Are you open to a meeting? Do you want to do this? It's a sales opportunity for you.
Yeah.
So, just understand that it is 100% free forever. You could literally join this app and never pay anything. But if you want a matchmaker on your side, out there looking for you, setting up dates for you, like Kara, I remember, I think it was on Monday, you said, Chris, your client was like, well, Kara, I got a free Saturday. And you're like, okay, great. Like, that's the kind of situation we have to get into, right? You're like, okay, I have to set expectations and then get them kind of lined up and give them some opportunities.
Right.
So, yeah. Kara, we have a question from Genevieve. So I wanted to answer. So Genevieve said, after this month, what is the incentive to get more singles to the database? So Genevieve, I think what you're asking about is the financial incentive. And honestly, if we have only gotten 75 singles with a $3,000 like prize, we're not going to do it again. It's clearly not money that is going to make this successful, right? $3,000 is a lot of money, especially for a young company like us. So let's talk about an incentive that's altruistic or for your business more than this like cash prize, right? The way we're going to reframe, and actually this is a great way to like look into the goals of Cupid as a company, but also yourself. So if you've never been in sales, Kara, you've been in sales before, right?
I have.
Genevieve, I'm asking you this, answer in the comments. Have you ever been in sales? Because I'm about to use some sales language, but for those Sam and other folks who may or may not have been in sales, I'm going to teach you a little bit about sales mentality, okay? It is a funnel. That is how sales works. So Genevieve, your question is, what is the incentive to get more singles in the database? Here's how the funnel works, okay? Funnel, you have to put water in the top, but your funnel actually has holes, and those holes are situations where someone loses interest or they're not that into the idea. And what comes at the bottom is clients. So think of it like this. Sam says she's all ears. Good, Sam, I appreciate it. So Genevieve, the incentive for you to bring in more singles goes a little something like this. You go to a farmer's market like Kara, you spend your afternoon, you get your bread, you get some fresh meats, you get some flowers, you're feeling great. You had 5, 10, 15, 20 conversations. Let's say it was 20. You spent there, you sat down with some people, you invited yourself, whatever, you made some friends, you went to a brunch afterwards, you had 20 conversations about Cupid. All 20 of those signed up for Cupid. Only a small percentage of the people you actually signed up are likely to become your client. So the top of your funnel is 20 people. And we're actually going to start calling that your network. Now, get ready for some new tech next week. We're going to implement some new tools. But the idea is when you send your link to someone and they join it, although they're joining the group shared Cupid database, we're going to call it your network. This will show up on your profile. This will show up as a statistic for you. So you'll be like, oh, Carabella has a network of 450 people. She clearly knows what she's doing. That's going to be another question a lot of people are asking you. It's like, do you know what you're doing? Do you have experience? Do you have proof? So we're helping you show that, but also you might even see those network people's profiles on yours. So they can scroll through and be like, wow, look at all these interesting, beautiful people. So the idea is to build your network on Cupid. It's going to help you have clout, help you have priority. And we have 10,000 matchmakers in the database. You want to make yourself stand out, right? But then also, of those 20 people you talk to at the top of that funnel, a few of those will trickle down into customers. 2, maybe 3 of them will say, hey, Kara, I'm into it. Tell me more. I'm open to it. I'll try it for a few months. Let's see what can happen, right? And Genevieve said she's been self-employed but not in sales. Genevieve, I would argue if you're ever self-employed, you have to be in sales. And Genevieve's done affiliate marketing. Got it. Well, to be clear, this is not affiliate marketing, Genevieve. This is literally your business. So it's very much like self-employment. But to answer your question more directly, if you want to be successful at Cupid, you have to invite singles to Cupid. Once you get a client, what do you think you're going to do anyway? As soon as Kara has a client right now, she has to be delivering singles to her client to review after she screened them. And so we need to build that database for you and for me. So Genevieve, final thing I'll say on this. The reason why you want to invite singles to Cupid, what's the incentive? It's the same thing for Kara. It's the same thing for Sam. It's the same thing for Bella Claire. Same thing for Ken. We need a larger active database of singles to make Cupid as a brand more valuable. As it gets bigger, as the people start having special and magical experiences, your job gets easier. More singles are willing to convert into clients. So the actual network itself is going to say, hey, I'm open to it. I'm into it. Let's do it. So that's some of the things you could expect. And Sam says, I've been self-employed for some time now. I agree. I am the sales. It's not hard to be in sales. It isn't. And, you know, it's kind of funny because like when you think about sales, oftentimes you're like a product, right? Or a thing. You're like, well, this is the best foot cream you've ever had. In this situation, what are we selling? We're selling time. We're selling your time back, right, Kara? Like
Exactly.
we're trying to give you an extra arm, an extra brain to help you solve one of your biggest problems, most likely, which is loneliness and like trying to find time for relationships and dates and convenience and all those pieces. So hopefully it's less sales and it's more like you're like a doctor with a prescription. You're prescribing a solution to their problem. This is one of many. They could go swipe their life away if they want to, but you're trying to provide one of the antidotes. So, Genevieve, I hope I answered your question.
Can I add something to that? Do you mind? So, Genevieve, the question was, what is the incentive to get more singles in the database? So, as you get clients, Genevieve, you're going to need to search for matches for your clients. And if there's no singles in the database, it's going to make your job that much more difficult because now you have to go do some guerrilla marketing and find yourself matches for your clients. So the whole ideology behind having a database of singles is that so you as a matchmaker can go through the singles and say, hey, this might be a perfect match for my client. So that's what the incentive is. It's a tool to make your job easier so that you can match your clients.
Absolutely. And it's also, Genevieve, if you think about yourself, Genevieve, we're getting picked on today, but here's the idea, right? Let's say you're sitting at brunch with a girlfriend of yours and she's complaining about a relationship. Bella Claire just made a recent podcast episode where she just talked about sitting down with a person. She's never met this person before, and this person just opens up about how hard it is to date right now. And so, she's describing like who she's trying to meet and what she's interested in. You can literally pull up your matchmaking app and say like, oh, like him, like Jack looks like somebody you would want to date. She says, yeah, he looks like very my type and he seems very interesting. Wow, we really connect on a few things. How can I meet him? And you say, well, you have to join Cupid, but like we have a lot of Jacks in the Cupid database who are interested in long-term relationships, who are interested in finding their partner. So you could literally pull it up if the database is big enough and if you built a sizable enough network of people that you know and you trust and you connected with. Well, there you go. Now you literally have your arsenal. Your inventory is right there on your phone with you, and it only gets bigger as you invite more singles, and so do I. So those are some of the value things here. And Genevieve has one more question. Genevieve, what you got? She says, another question. Are we required to get 30 singles every month? If not, are we not allowed to use the other platform? Not at all, Genevieve. I think we've been a little... Kara, do you think it's confusing how we've talked about the 30 singles? Is it a little confusing?
I think for the outside looking in, I could see how it would be a little clouded, maybe.
Yeah, so Genevieve, the whole goal for 30 singles is right now we have almost 200 matchmakers on Cupid, right? If all 200 matchmakers invited 30 singles, we'd have an active database today in 1 week of inception. That'd be amazing. Yeah. We're clearly not, so that's part of the problem. We need to get out there and actually invite more people. We need to find some more, maybe it's the Cupid app, it's not as easy to use, maybe it's the brand, maybe it's the sign up process. We on the tech side are really focusing on that. What we mean by the 30 singles is we want to incentivize you to go out there and bring on singles every month. We're going to give you more tools, more services, and what will happen in the future is when someone signs up for Cupid and they haven't signed up with a matchmaker, they just heard about it on the radio, they read about it in a newspaper, they might have seen it in an article, and they sign up and then they press a button where they say, I'm interested in hiring a matchmaker. Who do you think Cupid's going to show first? The people who've invited lots of singles, because we know you're active. You get it. You're building the network. We're going to reward you for bringing on more singles. Now, that number might change from 30, but right now our goal is that every matchmaker invites 30 singles per month. If that happens, boom. Inherently, you're going to have a 5 to 10% conversion rate. You're going to get between 1 and 3 new clients every month. And that's great. Now you're starting your business, and over time, that becomes a real great side hustle or a really great business. So Genevieve, the answer is no. You can use Cupid and never get a client. You can still be a matchmaker. But what I'm saying is our goal is that you invite at least 30 singles per month. That's the dream. As we're all doing this together, wow, we'd have a ton of people on the app. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. That would be amazing. So yeah, I think it goes back to what was the question she had? Oh, the incentive. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to tie something in. When I go out on the pier tonight, and Ken and I go out on the pier and recruit some people in, these people may be matches for your clients, Genevieve,
right,
not just mine. Does that
right.
make sense?
Yeah, every single
Oh,
new person is a potential match for your client. You think about it. Like we
yeah,
never that's kind of the beauty of like a tech solution like this. You never know. You never, as a matchmaker, you never really know who your client's gonna match with. Your job is just to screen them and say, hey, my client said they wanted someone who was blonde and someone who was under 5'5", like whatever. Yeah, who knows, right? But that doesn't mean those qualifications are the only thing they're interested in, and it doesn't mean that's gonna be the right person for them. The
right.
only solution to matchmaking is volume. Lots of people, lots of active profiles who are open and willing to go on dates. So, Genevieve, hopefully we answered your question. Sam and anybody else who's on if wants to ask more questions. But let's come back to goal setting. So, Kara, what else can we think about going into December? So we went through Thanksgiving. We talked about, we might have mentioned Cupid to our family. I know, Kara, let me tell you a story real quick. I spoke to probably 4 or 5 people at Thanksgiving about Cupid. Now, my family's much older. Many of them are married, so like a much more conservative environment. So the youngins, the young folks, I talked to, and there was one specific friend I had in mind, or sorry, cousin. Her name is Aubrey, and Aubrey and I had about an hour conversation about this because Aubrey has a full-time job, and Aubrey doesn't necessarily want to do this, but Aubrey used to be on Broadway
Ooh,
about a decade ago.
okay.
And Aubrey has worked at Disney for almost 5+ years.
Wow.
Aubrey's network of people in the Disney sphere is enormous. And I said to her, I'm like, and I said, do you know anyone who's experienced this problem with? And she's like, all of my friends, every single one of them, as soon as they hit 30, cannot handle the dating apps anymore. They're over it. They've been using it since they were 20, and now teens are using it. And so the exhaustion factor is so high. They're done with this platform. And then when I said to her, well, we're also looking for matchmakers, social, outgoing people who hustle. And she's like, actors, you literally need actors. We're so social. We have to. We have to be. We have to hustle to get parts. We have to hustle to do things.
Right.
We have to hustle to get our music recorded. We have to hustle to, we don't need money, so we have to hustle. And so what Aubrey offered to me, of course I took her up on it. She said, Ken, I'd be more than happy to share with this on some of my Facebook groups that I'm part of. And she goes once a month to a Shakespeare thing where it's all a reading together. There's usually 1 to 200 people who come there. All
Wow.
she said was, let me just talk about it. Let me just share like the idea of a work from your phone opportunity to be a matchmaker. And she said, I think you're going to get quite a few people really interested in this who are very social, who are in their own sections and their own networks.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That seed that I planted today might result in thousands of singles in the next 3 to 6 months. So,
Exactly.
Kara, I think like one of the things we could think about is like goal setting is kind of like planting seeds
Planting
right now
seed.
for our
Yeah.
2023 business. We can't have the site just say, okay, we're only going to have success in like December. We have an entire year ahead of us of like planting seeds today, following up with people, reminding ourselves, saying, hey, you and I talked in January, it's March. You have any more success with your dating? No?
Right.
Are you ready to try it? We have to do that for ourselves. We have to remind them because we might not be top of mind for someone else.
Right.
So that was
Right.
just a really great conversation I had at Thanksgiving, Kara.
That's awesome. I had a few conversations. I had
Mm.
actually 5 conversations, which resulted in 2 people signing up. And then
Nice.
I'm waiting for the other 3. So I
Great.
keep checking and I keep bugging them saying, have you signed up yet? So they're probably tired of me, but I figure once they give me their commitment that they're going to do it, then I'm going to check with them to let them know I can kind of see when you do or don't do it.
Sure.
And then I say, oh, do you need some help with that? Do you have any questions? And
Yeah.
then they're like, then it's done. So I'll go
Yeah.
in and check.
Well, especially because
But
you have paying clients, Kara. I mean, you have to be on the prowl now. I mean,
yeah,
tonight, I can imagine as we're out there on the pier, your client is in the Tampa Bay area, right?
he is. So I will be thinking and looking at these lovely ladies like, hmm. So my mind will be thinking 2 things. I need to spread the word about Cupid, who we are, what we
Mhm.
do, how we can help people. The
Mhm.
second thought is my client Chris. Are
Right.
any of these ladies a good possibility for Chris?
Right.
My third thing is, hey, you guys are single. You guys are headed to the bar down there, right? And after your bar session, you're going to end up swiping in your pocket, right? So we have a solution for that. So just spreading the word and getting singles in the database. There are
Exactly.
3 main focuses of our guerrilla marketing for tonight, and those are
Absolutely.
my focal points.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, guys, is as we think about it, there are a few matchmakers who have clients on the platform. So as we're adding more singles, maybe they're not a great fit for you. Like, okay, so you meet someone, they're interesting, they're charming, but you're like, ah, they're not a good fit for my client. Who cares? They might be a good fit for someone else's. You're literally always helping the database, and you
That's right.
never know who is going to convert from a single to a client in the future.
That's right.
So
That's right.
something else I mentioned to you, Kara, is next week we're going to have part of that invite tool. It's going to actually show you who signed up using your link. So right now it doesn't. Right now they click the link, they download it, and you get a little 1 on your leaderboard, right? You can make some money this month, but you don't get to track who it was. Next week, by Friday, we'll be releasing the new version of Cupid. You're not only going to get a web page with your unique link and a QR code someone can scan. So no more, Kara, we have to spend money on business cards. No more of that.
Right.
And then, more importantly, a list of people who has used your link and who signed up. Because Kara, part of the problem, I already see it happening, right? You meet 100 people tonight, 30 of them sign up, but you don't want to be going through the database and trying to say, like, who was it? Oh, was it her? Oh my God, was it this one? Like, I forget. Is she doing this or
Right.
not? And this is just like, this
I
is
love that.
the adolescence of Cupid being only a week old. We're like a teenager. We're still learning what we need to have for matchmakers. So I think tonight will be really informational for both of us. We'll be like, wow, if I only had X, I would have been more effective. You know what I mean?
And I think by you providing those analytics for us, we can then start to kind of gauge and track what forms of marketing or our social media or guerrilla marketing efforts are really paying off for us. So we know
Exactly.
what works, what we need to maybe tweak a little bit and fine tune, which is
Yep.
going to make life easier for us.
Totally agree. And it's
Yeah.
our job, guys. Like Genevieve, Sam, if you're Genevieve, I think you're on the newer end here, but if you guys watch what we do, we listen. The reason why we go live every week is this is literally a live conversation we get to have. Sometimes we get on, last Friday we had like 150 people show up. Sometimes we get to 120. It's okay. Our job is to listen to you and you tell us what we need to be helping you build. I love hearing Kara's goals because Kara says, I want to have 50 clients. That means Cupid needs to have tools internally to help Kara manage 50 clients. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of like back and forth and making sure you know where you're going and who's going on what date when. That's a very unique set, right? So we have to hear about these things to say, okay, that's where Kara's going. We better be able to keep up. And that's why we have these live conversations.
Okay. Well, I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
The second part of my the goal setting
Mm-hmm.
is to, and I think I've mentioned this before, is to get a lot more comfortable with my social media and content and posting on a regular basis. I'm going to tell you guys, oh my gosh, I'm so generationally challenged because I've never really had to do market myself on social media. The Canva is great. I still am kind of like, ooh, I don't know about posting this. Like I'm almost afraid to just like throw it out there. I
Sure.
tweeted this morning for the
Oh.
first time. Like I tweeted,
Oh. How was it?
ain't so good. So it tells me I need to work on that. I need to really learn a little more about Twitter and what really is catching people's eyes because I'm brand spanking new. So I just like threw something up there to see if I would even get a tweet back or a like or anything.
Sure.
And then I retweeted it.
Right.
So this getting just better about my social media, getting comfortable with it, getting all my pages streamlined with my links and my bios of who I am and what I do. My second goal setting.
So is that your second goal? So are you saying like by the end of the year you want to have all of your social media organized and kind of planned out? Is that what you're saying?
Organized, seamless. I'm comfortable with it. I've gotten feedback from others about the content and how it looks and is this engaging? Yes, I want to be a social media expert by the end of December.
Wow,
Where I can
Kara,
just
I think you've got
seamlessly.
some big goals. Those are big goals, Kara.
They're lofty. They're lofty.
Well, I mean, if you become a social media expert and you start driving, even 100 or even 1,000 people to your page every month, and that's new people, Kara, that's the funnel, right? People
Right.
are going to start signing up with you. You're going to automatically get a ton more singles coming in, but you're going to get more clients. So it will have a really nice return on investment. So, Kara, I have some good news for you. Cupid is actually working with a woman who's contracting to actually create some social media templates for us. So what's going to happen is by next Friday, I think it's when she's delivering them by next Friday, we're going to start delivering you brand new templates every week. So every week you'll have templates that are ready for like Instagram, for Twitter, for Facebook, for YouTube. All of these pieces are very easy for you to just drop your face in, drop your QR code in. That's it. The content's ready. You can just edit it, but it's all done on Canva. So the idea is we're trying to make this easier for you because I know the creation's hard and I know it takes time. So what we're going to do is say, okay, let us put together, here's 7 to 10 ideas, right? You can resize them, you can put them on different ones, and then we'll also supplement that with videos teaching you how to do it. So hopefully we can lower the challenge, lower the barrier to entry for that social media. So Kara, I'm on it. We're going to do our part. You do your part. We'll meet in the middle. But I hope you do become a social media expert.
Yeah, because I feel like when I open apps up or like social media platforms that I'm not really familiar with, I feel intimidated. I'm not going to lie. Like I really feel intimidated. And so one of the things I know myself, and I know if something intimidates me, I won't do it. So I need to peel back the layers and have a better understanding and feel comfortable. Because once I feel comfortable, then they're probably going to kick me off for posting too much, right?
No, they love
It's going to go from 0 to 500. But that's just how I operate.
Hey, it's, Kara, I don't know. Have you seen any of my Instagram or TikToks that I'm making, Kara?
I haven't.
Okay, I'll have to share it with you. So if you guys look at me, I'm at Kenji Barton, or if you just look at any of the Cupid stuff, it usually reposts it. But I've been making a daily vlog. Kara, have you heard of this? A vlog? No? VLOG. It's a great tool.
Oh, a vlog. Yes.
Yeah, a video blog, right? So instead of me writing here's what happened at Cupid today, I just make a 30-second video, 15 to 30 seconds, and I explain some of the stuff that we were working on today. For example, my vlog post today was a quick video about me going on a walk this morning, seeing an adorable wild bunny, which is really cool. I've never seen one before. Not here at least. And then I talked about how you and I are going to go to this pier tonight to do some guerrilla marketing, and I featured my pink cowboy hat, my skates, and some business cards. Great, And believe it or not, those videos, I've been posting them for 8 days now. My intention is to post it every single day. Couple of things, as I believe, Kara, you're probably not the only one looking to master social media, because we all know that's how you reach people, right? People opt in, people kind of zone out, and they tune into social media. They're happy to do it. So one of the successful things with social media is consistency. So think about it like this.
Right.
If I am Instagram, if I am TikTok, if I am Facebook, yes, we want that one person that makes that one really unique video that gets a ton of attention and then they never post again. That happens all the time. Little viral peaks, right?
Yeah.
But what does Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of these things want more? Consistency. They want to be the place where someone comes back to. So they want, if you love reading inspirational quotes, you go to X profile, there's going to be a new one every day. It becomes a habit. That's what this platform wants. They want to be a habit. They want to hack your brain. Okay. And so as you deliver that content to that platform over and over and over again, that content platform will start rewarding you for helping them get more attention. So if we think about it, you need to understand the relationship between you and social media. Social media actually wants something. Facebook wants something. Facebook wants more people to come back to their app and spend more time there. So if you do a video or you do a live every so often, just like we do right now, these platforms reward us for more attention. I can't tell you how many more people see our YouTube videos on our Facebook and our LinkedIn because we go live like this and we do live training. Obviously, we train the matchmakers, but it also helps the social media platforms say, oh, they're driving attention. Things are happening. This is useful. We're going to give organic attention to these platforms, to this content. It's interesting, right? But it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Rocket science, yeah.
It's just like you're rewarding the people that are contributing, just like Cupid.
Yeah, I think people think that technology companies are this opaque, confusing, there's this big, curtain behind that no one knows what's behind there. in the reality, it's usually a very simple process, right? This platform wants something from you. You want free content, you want to laugh, you want to chuckle, you want to feel good, you want to feel bad, you want to learn something. All those things you get for free, right? So the platform wants you to stay there because it sells advertising, it needs attention. So also, Kara, actually, let's talk about that for a moment because one of your goals is to become a social media pro. So when you're thinking about your social media content, have you like had to sit down and say like, what am I going to post? Like, what value am I going to bring to people yet? Have you had that conversation with yourself?
I have, and it's more so what's something that's attention getting,
Mm-hmm.
or should I create it as in like a poll? Like when I was looking
Mm-hmm.
at Twitter today, I said, what if I do a poll? Would that garner more engagement?
Possibly, possibly.
So that's what I like about that. There's so many ways to kind of to practice with it to see
Mm-hmm.
if you putting a post up, if you retweeting somebody, if
Mm-hmm.
you putting a poll up will work.
Right.
Because I was looking at tweets and somebody had asked the question, what makes a good relationship? And that it was just a simple tweet. And
Sure.
there was a lot of people that engaged in that one question. And I was like,
Sure.
what can I say where people would want to engage with me?
Right.
So just learning about, gosh, what people are drawn to and what they're responding to, I think is helping me to more so plan at least Twitter for now.
Right. And that's what works on that platform, right? Like I know that on Facebook, things that provide like a more deep conversation work really well. On Instagram, it's beautiful photos. Whenever things are really beautiful and they get lots of actual likes, comments are valuable, but not so much. Like it's
Right.
every platform is going to be different. And so you'll decide how you craft your message and your story differently on each one. So yeah, I love it. All right, Kara. So we're almost at the 45-minute mark. So let's wrap up because I actually have a few more things I'm trying to get done before we go out on the pier today.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about for December's goals? Right, we're trying to think about what else you want to achieve. So Kara's goals are 50 clients by the end of December and to become a social media pro. My goals are for us to reach by the end of this year. I'd like for us to be at 10,000 singles by December
Wow.
31st because Kara, what I think is, what I believe is going to happen, we increase by 10 to 20 matchmakers every single day. And I think as we start getting bigger, like after tonight, we might actually double in size. We might go to like 300, 500, 1,000 matchmakers after this weekend of doing some guerrilla marketing. And with those people, that's only each one of those matchmakers inviting 10 people is 10,000. It's really, these numbers become much more bite-sized when you look at like the volume it can be. So it's not unrealistic. It's not like we're asking one matchmaker to invite 10,000 people. It's not how it is at all. But for us, what we believe is that once we hit the number of 10,000 people, it becomes really serious. News starts looking at us. More investors will look at us, so we'll have more team members to grow faster. We
Right.
think that matchmakers will say, "Wow, there's a lot of people here. Like, I could actually do this." It's not like we're starting from scratch, right? So that's our big pie in the sky end of the year number is 10,000 singles. And so
Yeah.
we're going to start doing a ton of. I mean, Kara, you're going to do events. I'm going to do events 5 days a week. Whatever I got to do to drive us 1,000 singles at 10,000. It doesn't matter if they're all here in Florida. They could be all over the U.S., but it's going to organically grow from there.
Yeah.
So that's the Cupid goal for end of 2022.
I love it. I'm going to be out there and active, and I'll share, things that I have been doing and what I feel like is working and not working with you guys as well. But you got to be committed to the process too. I'm not saying you got to go like hang out on your pier, but I'm saying find something locally where you feel comfortable that you can do. It's Black Friday. People are out
Oh
in
my gosh.
droves shopping.
Well, all your friends are home from wherever they're at, right? Like if you're in your hometown right now, they're all back. So every bar is gonna be full. Everything's gonna be escaping from the family. All of December, as we've mentioned before many times, Kara, holiday party, holiday party. And what's funny is people think holiday party, they think like it's a company holiday party. Almost every coffee shop that I've seen, Kara, is throwing a holiday party. Bookstores are throwing holiday parties. Restaurants are throwing holiday parties. Go to one of those. Make it there, right? Meet some of those folks. Like if you look out there, you look at Eventbrite, you look at events going on in your community.
Oh,
There's way
yeah.
more than you realize, and they're all free. They don't cost anything. You have the link that you need to invite people. start making it a part of your goal to actually get out there and meet folks. And if you do that, inherently you're going to have success. So, Kara, if you don't mind, I'm going to wrap up a little early today.
Okay.
And we'll be back on Monday. I might be suffering a little bit from the turkey, but I also got to get a whole bunch done before we meet tonight and go here. So hopefully we'll be looking at, Monday, I want to see hundreds. I'd like 250 to 500 singles. And hopefully we'll get a bunch of conversations going tonight, and they'll tell their friends, and boom, we've got it. So
I'm going to charge my phone, guys, and hopefully I'll have some video to show you of Ken in action.
I'll be in rollerblades. I'll be 7 feet tall.
I love it.
I'll be 7 feet tall. I got a pink hat on. I'll have a Cupid shirt on. I'm gonna have everything.
I love it. So I'm gonna find something to be in theme with you this evening, and I'll see you at 6 o'clock.
All right. Bye, Kara. Thank you, guys. We'll see you later. See you Monday.
Bye.